The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
It's time. It's time for
coffee time.
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 And here is your coffee time crew.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee Time with Blind United. We are here. It is Wednesday? So, I'm sorry. And today I got Brittany with me. Good morning, Britt.
Good morning.
And then Brother George popped in right at the ticker. Good morning, George.
Good morning.
And then Pedro. Good morning, Pedro.
Good morning.
Oh, my goodness.
Good morning, guys. How's everybody's man, I almost said Thursday. How's everybody's hump day?
Well, we're just getting started humping. So
whoa. Keep that between you and George.
Well, on that note, we do have an interest group for y'all today. We have the knitting, crocheting, crafting, jewelry making kind of thing going on, and that will be at 5 p.m. Pacific time this evening. So if you like crafting stuff like that, please come in and join Trina and Barbara as they go through the different crafting things that they're doing at the moment. I'm being honest, I ain't kept up with it. I don't know what they're working on at this time, but they always got something going on, whether they knitting or making jewelry or something like that. They always have a lot of fun with that. So if that's your thing, come and check us out, 5 p.m. Pacific time on Zoom. So, all right. Well,
all right, man. Hopefully they make some beanies, some gloves, something, right? Oh, wow.
I mean, it is wintertime, right? They could be making some good money selling beanies and gloves and scarves and sweaters and
yeah, because us blind people, sometimes we love gloves and stuff like that, but some gloves, when you want to feel things, sometimes because you know how we use our hands to feel, it doesn't feel right. So if we had just the fingertip-less gloves.
By the way, I just got a notice. Did you see that? StreamYard is having difficulty streaming to Facebook.
All right. So George, grab the link and share it to your timeline.
But I can't even. That's not even going to Facebook. They blocked us again. Mr. Davis, what'd you do this time?
Your mic is hot. Your mic is clipping, but that's just a little bit.
I didn't do nothing, George.
How about now? Is it better? I'm sorry about that. Is that
Yeah, you sound way better. Monica said good morning, and Tisha also said good morning. So good morning, Monica and Tisha.
Good morning, ladies. Happy hump day. What's up, baby? What's up, Monica?
Don't forget to hump those closest to you.
Consensually, of course.
Okay, sounds like we're rookies here. Hey, Ms. Barrett, by the way, how you been? We haven't talked in a bit.
Good. Did you guys know that Be My Eyes is now on the Meta smart glasses? All you got to say now is, "Hey Meta, connect to Be My Eyes" or whatever.
Yeah, not yet.
I got an email this morning saying that it rolled out in my area. So I don't know.
Wow, I haven't got that email, but I seen somebody do a tutorial and stuff like that, and I asked the young lady, "Are you a beta tester?" She told me yes. I'm like, okay, no wonder you have access to it. But there was another person that said they received the email also, Britt, but they don't have access to
me neither.
The feature.
I checked this morning.
Yeah, I was gonna call George, but I do have an article on that coming out tomorrow. And stuff like that, but we could get into it, how it could be a game changer later on, or we could talk a little bit about it right now too.
I mean, I think it would be a game changer because you'd have a handless option because you always have your cane or your dog or whatever, and when you're traveling you could just say, hey Meta, connect to Be My Eyes, and then you have an option. I think that that's what Ira was trying to do, but it just never worked out. I think because they, would use different types of glasses and whatever would happen. And even
Hmm.
with like Orcam and Envision, like those things are so expensive. So this is a cheaper option, and I love that.
Hey, I think Brittany is getting on board of purchasing these glasses, guys. She's
Right?
been on the fence. She's already on it.
Yeah. Well, and it's true, right? Because that what people tend to forget is, it incorporates a lot of Seed AI, Be My Eyes, all that stuff into it. Now it doesn't have like Pixie Body component yet, but it allows you to be independent. And one of my customers, just to put this in perspective, they use a walker. So for them, it's impossible really to stop, take your phone out, take a picture, and then still have
Hmm.
handle the walker. So I see that in that situation is perfect, right?
Hey, yes, and also for people that have mobility issues with their hands and
True.
can't, and shake their hand, like their hands is shaking when they're trying to point and take a picture. With this, they could just quickly take a quick picture and continue and not worry about, even getting their phone out, navigating and, having problems with their mobility, issues that they have. This could be not just for blind people, but even other disabilities too. It could come in really handy, so it's great that this technology is out, and then that this technology, the glasses are working with other accessible apps that we use in our daily life to better assist us. That's a big plus right there.
Yep. Yep. And then the cost too, right? Pedro, compared to other devices out there, that don't really do everything the glasses do, but I mean, 10% of what one of the glasses
Yeah,
available
I'd
right now.
rather pay $300 than I think when I looked at the Envision glasses, they were like $2,000. And not only that, but when I saw the Envision glasses at CSUN, they looked really dorky. And then the Orcam glasses, they look dorky too. But at least with the Metas, they just look like a regular pair of sunglasses. Or people may think, oh, you're a content creator or whatever. So you don't
Hmm.
have this weird device and people are like, oh, what is that? I think like as a blind person, I just want to look like everybody else.
Ding, ding. You hit
Mhm.
it right on the nail, Brittany. Right on the nail. Because, yes, I also looked at the glasses, and you get these Envision glasses or these glasses, and an arm is all bulky because that's where all the batteries at. That's where everything at. And then you have the lens, the part where the lenses go. The lenses are missing because it has a little camera there. You know what I mean? And I remember that was the prior model before they came out with these slim wire looking glasses and stuff. But yeah, you look awkward, and we don't want to be out in the street looking awkward. We
It's
already
like
have people. Mm,
it's like one of the devices what you clip onto your glasses. I forgot the name of it right now. I'm in blank.
Oricam.
Yeah, and I mean you're right. We don't want to be walking around people like, what is he? What is that? Right? But let me ask.
RoboCop.
Right? I have a question. An article I saw last night. I'm not really sure if it applies to this, but Pedro, our expert. Um, so when it comes to like videos and taking pictures and all this
Hold on,
stuff,
George.
great
That's videos with a B or a V?
videos.
I
Well,
just
it's
messing with
videos. It's videos when you're taking it. Anyways, that's another
you.
thing. That's
Okay. Yeah, I'm
another
just messing
subject.
with
But I
Sorry,
saw an
continue.
article, and I'm not sure if it was like a serious article,
Hmm.
but regarding like exposure to like what do they call it, electrograms or whatever they want to call it.
RF frequencies, radio frequencies.
So what do you say to that? I mean, is that something to be concerned about? That close to your brain and whatnot,
Well,
etc.
remember back in the day when they were saying, remember when the cell phones still had antennas?
Yep. Yeah, the
Okay.
cell phones. Yeah, that's right.
And they were saying, by holding the phone up to your ear and all that old kind of stuff. It could cause brain cancer.
Yep.
Because of the radiation or whatever. I mean, what kind of radiation y'all got coming into my phone? I mean, so I mean, I don't buy into all that.
Radiation is also heat. We got to remember that part, right? There is natural radiation that is already in our natural environment. But, all right, back in the early 2000s when these cell phones came out, they had the antennas. They're only getting one type of signal. It's either the cell phone signal or the 3G, right? Those two. But now you have your signal for your cellular, your data signal, your Wi-Fi signal, and your Bluetooth signal. All those are different frequencies going off. Think about that one. Okay. They do say to put your phone a little off and try to use it, not have it around your body, but it's not radiation that can damage you real fast. It's not even, it's if we all have phones, right? Wouldn't you see people getting more sick and having more problems faster?
That part there.
Our hands have our phone most of the time too.
But I think what happens, Pedro, with the combination of the cell phone and then the COVID vaccine. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, well, you could say this: being in a soup of frequency signals can be bad. Okay, meaning we have Bluetooth devices like our smart devices that are connected to Wi-Fi frequencies. Our Wi-Fi router is shooting 5 Wi-Fi frequencies everywhere. We got the 5G that's all over the place now, and it's shooting those type of gigawaves into your body and all that. So we've been in a soup. We've been in a soup, and
well, remember back in the day when the phones came out, they were like little bricks, just huge little devices with a black cord, the black antenna. Miss Britt,
Motorola brick.
Yeah, there you go. Miss Britt, can you check to see, because my Facebook thing is just going in and out, in and out. So I'm not sure if it's
yeah, hold on, I will check for you.
So, anyways,
plus we are live on our Facebook. But
yeah, I'm looking on the Blind United page, and it's going in and out the frequency. But anyways, and it's just amazing that now, talking about those brick phones, now we have a glasses that have video and you could take calls. I mean, just pretty neat, man. This the time that we're in, right?
Yeah, it's really neat.
Now. Yeah,
it's really.
It seems like we're live, but yeah, it is crazy, this technology.
Yeah,
and you gotta remember now we're having our these glasses on. They are gonna emit radio frequencies. My concern is when the devices get a little warm and a little hot. I noticed that I start like sweating a little bit around the glasses, and I don't know, that's because they get warm because of the tech inside. It's running.
I think it's just your personality, Pedro.
Oh, so it's my personality to just sweat when I have these glasses on. I might have to check my personality.
Right, but you're right. You're right, because people sometimes forget that along with what did we talk about last time? Privacy and are we willing to give up some privacy for technology? Right? Are we willing to give up a little bit of health for technology? Now, I'm not saying allegedly, right? Allegedly. So the thing is, how much are we willing to give up to have the independence of seeing a sign or reading a document? So I think that's what in the back of the mind we have to think about that too.
Well, not only that, I mean, that's perfect segue if Pedro want to go there into some other privacy issues that are coming up.
Well, first, before we do that, I just gotta give props to Pedro. That intro, man, that is some awesome stuff. That really is. Even though I sound like a little girl, it's copy time. Like, what the? That's not me.
I know we all sound different. Like, I'm just like, it's copy
time. I mean, I can tell everybody's voice.
Yeah. I like it.
But George, you have a voice that I believe could be in cartoon movies, doggy. Like,
I know, right?
It's coffee time.
I could be a little chihuahua.
A little chihuahua.
I'd be like, "Hey, Holmes, what's up?" Not really.
Oh, man. Never mind, George. Never mind. You've been fired.
Right.
But yes, here, let's get into this article. Let's check this out because it's about privacy, and I tailored it for privacy for a reason. Let's check that out.
Protecting privacy in an age of surveillance today on Coffee Time, let's dive into a critical conversation about privacy in our increasingly monitored world. With the re-election of President Donald Trump, concerns are rising around government surveillance, especially as it might impact undocumented immigrants, journalists, activists, and other groups. As surveillance technologies grow more sophisticated, being vigilant about our privacy is essential. In a time where data mining is widespread, protecting our personal information means more than ever. Here are some practical steps to consider. 1. Secure your communications. Using encrypted messaging apps, like Signal, can ensure that only you and the recipient can read your messages. Enabling full disk encryption on your devices adds another layer of protection. 2. Protect online activities. Browsers like Tor and Brave help reduce tracking. When it comes to cloud storage, choose services with strong encryption policies. 3. Manage location data. Be aware of apps that request your location. Limiting these permissions or even using Faraday bags to block signals can prevent unwanted tracking. 4. Financial privacy. Cash transactions offer a degree of anonymity that digital payments don't, reducing the digital footprint tied to your purchases. 5. Stay informed and advocate. Knowledge is power. Stay updated on the latest in surveillance tech and legal changes. Supporting policies that defend privacy rights can help push back against excessive surveillance. In a world where every bit of data can be tracked, keeping an eye on our privacy is more important than ever. So, how do you feel about data privacy in today's digital world? Do you have other strategies to keep your information safe? Let's dive into this important discussion. Now back to the Coffee Time crew.
Well, myself personally, one thing about the article I want to bring up, and I did hear this, I believe it was yesterday, like you say, with Trump and whatnot, taking office and all this. You heard the thing in about activism or advocacies kind of thing, whatever. It literally said that he can revoke 501(c)(3)s that he don't agree with.
Yeah, I read about that.
Yeah, with his new plan. I mean, come on,
Well,
man.
I think. What do you mean 501? Oh, the nonprofit status.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He can take our nonprofit status if he don't believe in what we're, if he has an issue with us.
Well, I would hope there's some safeguards against that because.
I'm with George. I would hope there's some safeguards. Also, that's already more of a authority, being a dictatorship right there. If the president is able to stop these companies or take off your nonprofit status, it's more of a authoritative. I can't even say the word right now, but he's acting like it's gonna be acting like a dictator. Oh, we can't criticize our president. What happened to the party of freedom of speech, the party of freedoms? But now you can't
that's what I'm saying, Pedro. I think by the First Amendment, it should be covered because it would. Now, granted, I'm not sure. I'm not a constitutional expert, but you would think, we could say now the corpus not like, f the president. Something that's meant to. I can't say the other word because we might get banned anyway. But to hurt the president, then I can see that. But if you're just voicing your opinion about the president or anybody else, you should be covered under the First Amendment, right? I would hope.
Yes, as long as there's no threat,
no violence,
that you're calling for, you should be good. And the perfect example is January 6th, what happened there, and Trump and his wordings. So we should people in these organizations should be covered, but who knows how the future looks. But just to be on a privacy tip, yes, you always got to be aware of your location. I always double think of giving something my location. I just barely give it to one place, and that's Meta because of these glasses.
But Pedro,
Well,
let me ask you this. Yesterday I got a notification on my phone that says that Meta has been using your location in the past for 18 times or something like that. Mm-hmm. Why in the heck am I sharing my location if it won't tell me where I'm at?
Yeah. And right? that's the same thing I was talking about. That why am I sharing my location 24/7? You could tell me the distance to the nearest McDonald's, but you can't tell me how to get there from my location. And if I tell you where I'm at, You can't tell me where I'm at. Why am I giving you all this information?
Exactly.
And I was there hovering over that question for 3, 4, 5 minutes. I was like, should I? Should I not? It says it's not gonna work perfectly, but it's and then I was like, but it's visual thing. If I need to know information, it's taking a picture. It doesn't need to know my
Location.
location unless it has those features. But I've been putting it to the test, and I've been seeing why it needs my location. Honestly, probably just to tell me where's the nearest McDonald's. But you would think if it did that, it knows where I'm at.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the point. Is if I want to give you, like we talked about earlier, right? If I want to give you a piece of my privacy, you know, are you going to apply it to the app, or is it just for your benefit? Are you the app developer going to benefit from this? What's the purpose? Now, like you said, if it's like Voice Vista, okay, obviously, right? But if
Hmm.
it's something that and another thing which I don't like is like you want to use our service, you gotta accept our. If not, I'm like, well, a huevo, you have to hit accept. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
sorry, a
Hmm.
huevo for you non-Mexican speakers is okay. I guess I have to. You know?
Yeah, it's basically saying I guess I have to, but it doesn't translate like that. The word is
I don't want to say it
uh
the other way. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, at a ball, I guess.
yeah, yeah.
But
I don't
it
want to say
doesn't
that.
make
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense in English. But yes, it's a term we have, a huevo. You have no choice,
In other
you
words, they
know?
got you by the cojones. There
Right.
you
Yes,
go.
basically. And uh there
Or my
were
term is uh cannolis. But anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
but they had raised that question before about these not able to use stuff. But when we have administrations that are shacking up the billionaire class into their administration, and these hawk people that are against privacy, and they want all this stuff, and putting like billionaires like Elon Musk that is there for his own benefit, not for his users or anything like that. We have to double think on what are we giving these systems? What are we giving these platforms? Yes, when you do an Apple Pay that transaction or your location is going out, think about this. You just gave them where you at, what you shop for, or what you might be interested. Although in location, it knows, okay, you were in Jack in the Box, and now you start receiving Jack in the Box ads in
Hmm.
newsfeed in your Facebook. How would they know? Well, you're feeding your location, you know, and they could have in their terms and conditions, we are able to use your location for advertisement and tailoring features for our users. But the main thing is advertisement.
But can
That's
we
what.
get that's the part? Can we, as a consumer, get compensated for that? I almost said the other word. Compensated for that because you're using my data. You're making money off of me. Why don't you cut me off a piece? It's like
That's
I know it's not the same thing, but like when you go to Walmart,
no, no. You're right. You're right, George. I tell this, and I've been teaching my kids, and there's something we might have to teach to all our young generation. Data is oil. If these companies want you to fill out this service like YouTube or give out your location, giving out your data for them to make money, hey, where's my piece? I need my
exactly.
piece for my oil that you're mining, you
Or give me a
know?
discount because that's it. Like YouTube. I pay 17.99 a month. Okay, if I want to give you my data, okay, I'm willing to give it to you. Okay, but you cut me slack on the subscription, right? Knock it down.
Hmm.
I'm gonna hand you over something, and it's like saying what I was gonna say earlier about Walmart. I know it's not the same thing, but hopefully it kind of parallels. You go to Walmart, especially like in the morning before 6 or 7. No, before 7. There's no cashier really. You get to self check yourself out, but yet they're still charging me the same price. Is that fair in some ways? Right? I'm doing the cashier's job. That's part
Right.
of what I'm paying for. That's $2 I'm paying for
Exactly.
that bologna. You know?
Exactly. And I think we don't have a lot of discussion on this in our main media, our mainstream media, and other popular shows, because to tell you the truth, if I'm doing a cash register's job and I'm checking out and I'm doing that, should I get a discount? Because what did they say? We're giving you these prices because we're paying our workers,
Exactly.
right? But let's
Exactly.
say in the future there is no cash, no cashiers. Is it still feasible to them to still charge those prices and then be like, well, it's just that's what it is.
It's like a grocery store here in El Paso, guys, called Food City. No, Food King. Cheaper prices. Come over here. You save $5, whatever. But at the end of the day, when you when you cash out, they charge you 10%. For what? I always ask, what's that 10% for? Well, because you came to it. Yeah, I can understand if it's like a Sam's or there's membership fees, but I'm surprised it's gone so long that nobody asks what's that 10% for. Yeah, I'm saving 10%, but you're gonna charge me 10%. It's the same price,
It's
right?
for
Yeah,
their robot maintenance fees. I don't know, George. I don't know what
or
it's
Right.
for.
or George, let's say, right, you might be getting charging a few dollars. 10% on 100%, that's
Right.
$10 already plus the
Yep.
taxes.
Yep.
No. That's a lot of money. Thomas made a comment. He said that for the apps, you can make it so that it'll only share your location when you're using the app. So like the Meta View app, you can just set it to where it'll only use your location when
Well,
you're
actually,
using the app.
you could respond to that, Pedro, because you know what I'm going to say with that.
um you're still giving out your location no matter what,
But
even
you
if
have
you
to check on that always for the Meta app. For the
yeah.
Meta.
Yeah, once you check only use, Meta will come up with another prompt in the Meta View app that will say, "We need to know your location at all times. Can you check always allow?"
Yes.
And that could be even when your metas are in their case still using your location, but it's not the meta classes using your location. It's the meta view
Exactly.
application. That meta view application can be sending your location to the servers. Also, they needed to connect to Bluetooth devices. So let's say you might have a Bluetooth speaker. Does the meta view app knows what you're listening to now?
Imagine. Wow.
I wouldn't give it past them because these corporations and these CEOs do what they need to do. If it's not illegal, they do it.
But watch out if you're not watching porn. It'll get porn on your feed and your feed and Facebook.
Well, hey,
Mira
they
cochino.
look, just to tell you about that. I heard it's bye bye for the P sites. I heard this bye bye with the new administration coming in. They really, that was what was in Project 2025. They want you to use ID when you log into this website. Who wants to put their
Oh,
ID
really?
number when you watch these sites?
I should put in Mr. Davis' information. That's what I do.
Now Mr. Davis is in a list over there. We know his
Uh,
fetishes and stuff.
Come in.
Oh, but
But
he's
who?
anyways,
just a whole pervert, so to hell with it.
But no, but just to put it back in line about privacy.
yeah.
Who wants the government to know what they're watching in their private time? I need to put an ID to watch this channel and to watch this website. You're
Uh,
concerned about youth and all this, but you want to cut back food stamps. You don't want to give breakfast and lunches to all the kids across the nation, but you care about this site and kids. Does not make sense.
Pedro, I have a question that just thought of us right now when you said about logging in ID. Now, maybe obviously I don't know. So we know when that like TikTok and Facebook and all these well, I don't know about TikTok, but anyways, they had those provisions were for kids. They had that's a kid app. So
Mhm.
how can they identify like, yes, you are a kid, or a kid just wants to change it, just wants to put the year, where they're 18, where they're really 13. But how can
Mhm.
that really, how can the app know that you're telling the truth?
It can't really know. It can't really know. Later on, it might do it by AI in pictures, but it can't really know. It is relying on you to enter your real data, and that's what Facebook was. Before Facebook, there was something called MySpace, and everybody will enter the
Oh, I
nickname
remember Space Face. Yeah, yeah.
or a screen name. But now with Facebook, everybody has put their real name. Plus,
A real quick story on MySpace.com. So my cousin, he was real good with that. So I called him up. Hey, brother, can you help me set up MySpace? He
mhm.
goes, yeah. So he set it up and he called me. You like it? I set it up for you, man. So I go, sure. Went back to my profile. He put Hasselhoff in the speedo. I'm like, oh, really, brother? That's messed up, man.
That is funny. But to just to do it full circle, it's like, okay, yeah, you might have a kid that might get on Facebook and create their own account, but as a parent, My daughter barely got a TikTok account, but she's not allowed to do messages unless it's only her friends. And we monitor that. And, I'm not the parent that hovers over everything. But when it comes to online, I make
Yes.
sure that they know. And I must know if they create an account. They can't just go create an account when it nilly because it's against my policies with them that I have with my children. And as a parent, I need to be on top of that because there are weirdos online.
You know what? Let me tell you real quick. A friend of ours, her daughter's fifth grade, sixth. Anyway, she's a baby. She's small. And one day, the daughter came and asked her a question. She goes, "Oh, look, mom, my friend likes my teddy bear." And she's like, "What?" Cause we were with her. And she's like, "What do you mean, huh?" She says, "My friend likes my teddy bears." And she said, "What?" So she got her phone and she started looking at the messages. Guys, it was from an email account. It wasn't like a phone number. This person was asking him, "What's your name? Where do you live?" And I guess the little girl, just to be friends, she took pictures of her bears. And the person, "Oh, I like your bears." And I'm like, that was scary. That was scary because this person was
Well,
talking to a little girl, asking him questions like, "Where do you live?" Well, all this stuff. And I'm like you're right, Pedro. You have to be on them when it comes to that because these guys are these
hmm
perverts. Man, they're dangerous. But real quick, real side issue. I saw this yesterday in the news. And you, Pedro, you'll be a perfect example right now. Um,
hmm
what do you think of schools now implementing, or some schools? I saw here in El Paso, some schools implementing a no cell phone policy on premise. What do you
I
think about
have
that?
a lot to say about that. I mean, I get it because the cell phones are probably a distraction, whatever, right? But there's school shootings now. There's all types of
hmm
dangerous
hmm
things going on. So, like, as a parent, I mean, I'm not a parent, but I would want my child to be able to call me if there's a school shooting or some type of emergency or whatever. But I mean, I get why they want to have the cell phone bans, but you can have it, Pedro.
Well, let's cut to a quick commercial break because I think we all have a lot to say. I want to be interested on what Brittany thinks, Ed and George too. So we're gonna cut to a quick break and we will be back.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United. You can go to customcane.com. That's custom with a K, guys. And what Custom Cane does is they sell cane and cane accessories. It's like Burger King. You can have it your way. You can get a pink cane, a blue cane, a rainbow cane, a Broncos cane, a Chargers cane, a cane with the Braille alphabet, a cane with your name on it. Whatever you want, whatever type of handle you want, whatever type of tip you want. If you want an aircraft aluminum cane, if you want an all-terrain cane, telescoping cane, any type of cane, Custom Cane has it.
All right. So we're back and the question was, what do we think of the new cell phone ban that are coming to schools? And I know Brittany, she hit it almost right on the nail. Like, yes, we have these school shootings, we have people unaliving other people, and it's the youth, and it's it's mind wrecking when something like that happens, and being a parent, you want to know, okay, and then you want to know that they're safe, but I also want my kids to pay attention at school, do their work, and not distract the class when their phone is going off. So we need to teach them, silence your phone, put it on do not disturb. But as long as I get to see their location, I'm pretty good with that. If you banning the phones, at least ban them to their backpacks. You know, and mind you, yes, if the kids are taking out their phone and using it, yes, all right, boom, grab it and make a call, and then give it to them in the end of the day. But make sure you let the parent know what has happened. You know, also like if it's in a student's backpack and it vibrates and it's still there and it just stays in the student's backpack, it's not causing any harm. If the student ain't picking up, it's good. You know what I mean? Or it's just a completely silence. It's not hurting no one, but it gives me the ease of mind that I'm able to open my Find My app and see my son right there where he's at and what location.
I guess, like we were saying, that the tit for tat, right? You
Mm-hmm.
give up your kids, have the ability to have that phone on them, but at the same time, you want them to make sure that they're disciplined, right? Only use
Mm-hmm.
it when they're supposed to, and me not being the child, or not being the child, not being the parent, like
Are you
I
sure
got a
you're not
child,
a child, George?
I got a mind of a child, that's for sure. But going to what Brett says, you know, and the article I was hearing was they're talking to a parent in Canada, and see that's the trippy thing about it is that here in the U.S. It's academic what's that word I'm looking for? It's a problem when it comes to school shootings, but yet in Canada they don't have that, or in the UK they don't have school shootings like we do, and that's another issue within itself. But you're right,
Mm-hmm.
Pedro and Britt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know my kids at school. That's great, but at the same time, is my kid using it when they're not supposed to? Are they paying attention? Are they cheating? Are they using AI to get the answers? But at the same time, if something goes down, I want to be able to make contact with my kid. Hey, are you okay? Are you hiding? Are
Mm-hmm.
you in the restroom? Right, and
Mm-hmm.
it's sad to say that, right? But
It's really sad to say that.
maybe there'll be a point, Pedro, with technology that well, I don't know. Is there now? Can you restrict your phone? I know they have like the kids stuff, right? The restrictions on the
Mm-hmm.
phones. Can you put it
Parental
like,
parental controls.
yeah, is there like
Well,
time and dates and stuff like that? Or I've never
well,
seen that.
there's different ways you could handle that. We're gonna get a little bit into that before we get into the next article. Um, you do have parental controls, and you could lock their phone from using at the times you want. You could set up routines. Also, you could set up a schedule. When I was going to school, I will put my school time and all that, and my do not disturb would turn on. It would go to silence, and then when the class is over, boom, it would turn on its own. So I will never forget. But you also have a switch where it says class. It's class time, and like it's in class, and you just turn it on, and we'll let everybody know when they want to text you. We'll say a little message right there that says in class and stuff like that.
You
So
call it? It's called parental control.
no, that's just inside the do not disturb. But in parental controls, you can limit to the apps they could use. So, for
Oh, okay.
example, you're at school, you want to limit them to their phone app. Boom, you could just limit them to their phone
I
app.
wonder, do they have spousal control? How could they limit what Lulu's does?
Well, I could give advice to Lulu and tell you to put you under a kid's account and then put parental controls.
Right. But anyways,
you know?
but that's see, I didn't realize to what extent that parental control because I have a kid, but that's me. Well, in that case, then what's the problem? You can restrict it just as the phone.
Well, again, if you can restrict it to just the phone, I didn't realize you could do that. But at the same time, how about this one? I mean, okay, you blocked a phone from being able to use it during those hours or whatever, but we know just like anything else when if there's an active shooter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line, that's emergency. That should be able to override whatever parental controls where now you can reach out to your child or your child can reach out to you.
True. Well, how are you gonna
Well,
disable that? That's the problem because the kids
well,
nowadays are smart.
you could have that SOS feature, and call 911. When they call 911 for emergencies, it could just send a
Oh,
message
okay.
out
There you go.
and the location out. Like my emergency contacts will receive my emergency thing, and they could see my live location. So let's say last time I was at a show, had updated. There's a bug within the iOS, the SOS feature, and it went off because it just went off because of the buttons that got pressed. All right, I couldn't shut it off. Right, that was a bug within itself. I had to let my phone die and go back to normal and then shut it off. But that aside, I was looking. It sent out my messages to my sister and my mom. Gave them my location where I was at. But even when I charged my phone and it was charging up, it will give my location every time I moved from a location. It
Oh,
was
wow.
sent out a message until I went to shut off SOS. So they called me and they were like, "Hey, you okay? You okay?" The next day, my sister was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, you left from here," and I could see that, and I was like, "Oh man, I forgot to shut off the SOS feature because it went
Right.
off."
Hey,
Right.
Pedro, imagine she'd be like, "Hey, Cochino, why are you over there?"
I mean, it did that. I remember when Chanel, she had left her phone on top of the car, right, and drove off. And when she bent the corner, it slid off the car. And when it hit the ground, we got a notification like she was in an accident,
Oh,
right?
wow. Okay.
So then now we're trying to figure out where she's at. So my other daughter, because we all get the notification, right? So my other daughter, she calls a friend that lives right by there. He goes over there. He finds the phone laying out in the middle of the intersection. He picks up the phone and takes it home with him. And again, like you said, it told us, okay, the phone, now she's here. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't her. It was the phone,
Yeah, the phone, of course.
Well,
Right.
wasn't there, Mr. Davis, do you remember that real big case last year? I don't know if you saw this on, forgot what YouTube channel, about the lawyer that supposedly killed his wife and kid with a shotgun. Did you see that?
I vaguely remember something about
Well,
it.
the reason why I'm
Yes.
saying that because what you just said. So after the shooting, guys, it pinpointed the time. So the time of this shooting, the phone started moving down the street and moved down, and all of a sudden it stopped. And what happened is that the person who did the shooting, well, they say it was him, allegedly, that he threw the phone out the window. But it tracked going all the way down the street into the bushes wherever he threw it in. But it was going towards his home or back to that direction. And we don't know now, right? With technology, how that could lead into helping with crimes too, right?
Yeah, well,
It's all about the location sharing on that right there.
Yeah.
yeah, well, location, but also even your footstep data on your watch, Fitbit, all this can track you. Remember, the iPhone has a step counter, a speedometer, and it has an accelerometer and other technologies. So if you
I
put in
turned
your
that off.
pocket, yeah,
I turned it off
well,
because my watch kept telling me, "Hey, badass, get after butt." So I'm like, you know what? I'm just turn this thing off. I'm not gonna have it talk
what?
that way.
I believe that's a different feature, but yeah, these things are activated in your phone. So if something bad happens and you take someone's phone and you put it in your pocket and you're walking, all those little steps, it could tell you how far you walked and when you took it out and threw it, because it could tell you when the phone's flat, vertical,
Oh, really?
horizontal, which way is leaning. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
the information that your phone gathers is crazy. You might think it's just counting my step, but this phone could tell you if it's facing up and the top of the phone is facing straight to the sky. It could tell you all that. It could line up all that.
Oh,
So
wow. I know that. I
just
didn't know
to
that.
just to keep it in perspective, your information in your phone is a lot. Plus now you have open mics, cameras, all that other stuff. So remember, this is a surveillance device in if you want to put it down into basic terms.
Well, it's like
Yeah,
the Alexa, right? Like the Alexa and
mhm,
all the stuff. When you say the word, it pops. Oh, I'm sorry, people. Oh, your Alexa.
mhm.
Sorry about that. But it's true. Or even your phone. Hey Siri.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, I also want to talk about and we're going into a different topic, and I got an article for this, but man, we're talking about self-driving cars, guys. Let's take a listen.
Waymo's robotaxi rollout in Los Angeles. Today on Coffee Time, we're diving into California's latest tech venture, driverless taxis hitting the streets of Los Angeles. Starting this Tuesday, Angelenos can hail a robotaxi through the Waymo One app. With around 100 robot access in its Los Angeles fleet, Waymo has officially expanded its services to the public, offering 24-hour availability. However, there's a catch. These futuristic vehicles won't be cruising on freeways anytime soon. Waymo's robot access will stick to surface streets as they continue testing with a wider group of users in the city. This launch brings both excitement and controversy. While Waymo promises a new era of transportation, some Los Angeles officials are raising concerns over safety and the potential impact on jobs. Despite these worries, Governor Gavin Newsom recently vetoed a bill that would have increased crash data reporting requirements for driverless cars, signaling a green light for rapid expansion. So, what does this mean for Angelenos, and are driverless taxis the future of accessible, efficient transportation? As always, we'd love to hear your thoughts on this innovation. Do you think robot access are a positive step forward, or do you have concerns? Join the conversation and share your views. Now back to the coffee time crew.
So I want to make 2 points on that one. Number one, all of a sudden now you worried about taking people's jobs? You know, I mean, come on. But then on the flip side, I don't like the move that Newsom did where he's, vetoing the crash data. We need that data. We need to know, how these things are. No, I think we need to know that stuff. I mean, again, why all of a sudden you want to worry about people's jobs? I mean, again, you already. I mean, look at everything we got, man. Come on, you got kiosks at McDonald's. You got, all of these other kind of various things. The self checkout at the WalMarts and many other places as well now, right? So now all of a sudden you worried about jobs. Okay, you worried about some Uber drivers that you're actually taking advantage of, or Lyft drivers, whatever the case may be.
Both.
Both, right? But again, now you worried about jobs, but at the same time, you want to limit this crash data. We need that crash data. We need to know how these robots are doing. Again,
Okay.
why are we collecting that data? Because why are they not getting on the freeway? Because they needed to get more data. But did you
Um,
want to limit the data?
no, well, yes, that is being limited to their accidents. Also, was when I was reading the article, they only had 12 accidents within the last year, and most of them were regular drivers hitting them. There was a one that was kind of bad that happened over here. When the car was getting into the freeway, it was transferring from freeway to freeway, and a car, I guess, you know how drivers are impatient, because I've been in these Waymos. They don't drive speeding; they drive the speed limit. Okay, so when the Waymo got onto the freeway, a car clipped it on its left and hit it hard. That the car had to stop and stuff like that. You know, and that was kind of like the worst
But
accident they
but
said
didn't
they
it
had.
just? But didn't the article just say that to my knowledge, they're not getting on the freeway. So how was it getting on
They're
the freeway?
testing not for public use, but they're testing on the freeways. That's the difference.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Also, I saw a story on the news. They were having a parade, and the Waymo stopped and stayed there and not crashed into the parade or anything, but it stopped because it noticed a lot of activity happened. So it just stopped, and a driver from Waymo had to come and move it. But this is a learning lesson for them that they need to put in. If there's a parade, they need to let the Waymo system know that there's a parade and this is the route of the parade, and watch out for parade. You know,
Right,
But I
right.
think
but they,
what it
I
is,
think he's hiding the data. Well, not hiding, but he's vetoing that bill so the data won't. Um, I guess it's not to put all the data out there for not the consumer,
Public.
but for the public. But granted that you're gonna need data even to make a policy happen for these vehicles. So the government is getting that data regardless, even if they're not showing it to the public. But we will hope that the company will be transparent, and they have been transparent, letting them know the crashes. But I think the bill he was vetoing, yeah, it was a little bit about the accident, but it was more of putting not guardrails, but putting restrictions here. You can't do this now because of these much accidents, although that is less than 20 accidents, and most of those accidents, almost all actually, were a human driven accident. But
well, not only that, that's a very, very low percentage when you take into account that they have 100 cars, and who knows how many miles a day each of those cars is logging. You know what I'm saying? So 18, 20 accidents, whatever the case may be, when you do all the percentages, I mean, I would almost assume that that's probably less than 1%.
Way less than 1%. Also, I was watching this other video, and they were talking about Uber and Lyft and how they're charging 60% of the fare, and they're getting 60% of that fare, and how they have a new algorithm that pushes low prices for the drivers to get paid low wages, and then maximizes how much a passenger has to pay. So Uber is making so much money that we need other transportation systems that might put Uber in line, because Uber and Lyft, man, their prices are high, man.
But see,
well, I was going to ask. I'm sorry, George. I was going to ask as well, because I haven't been on them. What is the fair comparison between Waymo and then versus Uber and Lyft?
It is cheaper, slightly cheaper, but I would need to compare more. I have been comparing, but there's a other startup taxi company that is self-driving cars too, that just opened up their market at San Francisco. So we got more competition. We have, the cheaper prices is going to be. And Lyft and Uber right now have a lock on that share ride thing. Well, not share ride, but on the ride.
Right.
Even though you could get a yellow cab and go close by and get like $4 per mile, it might be cheaper if you're traveling close to get a taxi cab than an Uber. Uber's becoming, when it's close by and stuff, you want to go a few miles, it's getting expensive. I could go 1 mile and they charge me $12, $15, sometimes up to $17. And I'm like, I'd rather just walk that mile,
Well, I mean, I was looking at a thing yesterday, a guy in New York that does Uber, right? He's got a Tesla, so he's got his own channel. He was in New York. He literally got a $61 fare for a 2-minute ride.
Wow.
He made $61. Okay? $61. I mean, he had another ride where he got over, what do you say, $450 or something like that, for one that was, again, it was ridiculous that he got that much money for that ride.
Yeah, but look,
it's that algorithm thing, I believe.
I believe it. Okay, I'm not trying to discount what he's saying, and that he got $60 from a 2-minute drive. But if the app charged the person $60, I don't believe he got $60. If he got $60, imagine how much Uber got for that ride.
Right. They would have to be well over double that, which would be, $120, $130.
But think about this. A 2-minute ride gonna cost you $120.
That part.
Wow. And just to keep it going too, because I got one more article, guys. More competition in the market, lower prices. You know what I mean? Some of these companies and stuff like that need to get checked sometimes, because sometimes they do take advantage of our ridership. And us, as being in a blind community, we take advantage of these Uber, Lyft, Waymo and stuff, because we don't drive. And then that point, I'm moving into an article, and this is a lighthearted article. George might like this article.
Breaking down high-tech UFO evidence. Let's dive into something fascinating today on Coffee Time. Recently, reports have emerged suggesting that military-grade radar systems and advanced technology have captured some of the most concrete evidence of UFOs that we've seen to date. Unlike civilian video recordings, which can be unclear or easily dismissed, these sightings were reportedly tracked using high-tech radar and sophisticated surveillance equipment. This level of technology is far beyond what's available to the public, potentially offering a new level of credibility. So, what does this mean? Could this be the breakthrough moment in our understanding of UFOs, or could there still be explanations grounded in current science? Are these radar captures finally the solid evidence we've been waiting for, or should we remain skeptical? What do you think? Join us as we explore this thought-provoking topic. We'd love to hear your opinions on whether military tech might finally reveal the truth behind UFO sightings, or if you believe there's still more to the story. Now back to the coffee time crew.
Well, I mean, again, I know that military grade surveillance is, the most advanced, as far as what we got, of course, So, I mean, come on, man. You know, how can we sit here and think that we're the only planet in the system that, has human life or whatever? I mean, there's got to be some sort of life form somewhere else other than just one planet in the whole universe. Come on, man. It don't make sense.
Yeah.
So,
But let's take the whole alien part of this. We have advanced crafts in our airspace. We have advanced crafts that are able to go over thousands of miles in 1 second. We have advanced propulsion systems, advanced energy systems that are providing that energy to that craft. We have advanced technology within these crafts, and if these vehicles, these crafts are man-made or government-made or some top black budget project, and they're testing this stuff out, and they wanted to see if they'll catch on radar systems, that could be a case too. It not needs to be necessarily extraterrestrial alien life, even though, yes, it is self-centered of us to think we're the only one in this universe and we only see 5% of the universe. So imagine that, not even 5%. We don't even know how big it is because we only have our visible view, how far we can actually
right,
see with our instruments,
right,
and the visible universe, you know, we only seen a small speck. So we live in a large universe, and if these crafts are using, we've seen these crafts and they're being detected by our infrared, lidar and radar systems and other technologies within the Air Force. It puts a more concrete evidence that there is UAPs, and that's the word the government uses for these crafts, guys. Unknown aerial UAPs, unknown aerial phenomenon, guys. That's what it stands for. That's what they made. They actually have a department looking into these cases. Even the NASA has opened a special department for these cases too. Now they say they're gonna take them seriously, but it's like, now you want to take them seriously. There've been reports about these crafts being in sensitive areas. So they should have been taking this into account. They should have been taking this seriously,
right,
because even if we find out and get these technologies, there is a group, right? Let's say they're humans. They're okay. There is a group with advanced proportion, advanced maneuver capability, advanced powering capability, that these technologies can be used to power a city, and we don't need to depend on gas. We don't need to depend on coal. We don't have to maybe depend on all these wires going around all over the cities, and then now people are getting cut off their power because the wind is blowing hard. But think about this. Who does that technology disrupt? The status quo, the major energy producers, oil producers, and all that.
right.
Yeah, but
So,
just keep it on a basic level. Think about the technology that we could able and maybe bring to our society. Although,
Right.
yes, I would like to see what type of life is out there, of course. But I'm thinking more of the technology that we can use and we can utilize to actually maybe even reverse the pollution, you know?
Right. Okay. Well, on that note, Britt, we got any final comments before we get out of here, sweetie? I guess not. Britt, you got any? I'm sorry, George. You got any final comments?
Let
We done
me
lost him too.
let me check these comments right quick too.
Sound like we done lost everybody but us.
Yeah, teacher said good morning. My kitty cat named Harley says good morning. Good morning to Harley from Tisha.
So, well,
Yeah, and then that's pretty much it. We don't have too many comments, guys. Thank you for the commenters. For the ones listening, like, subscribe, follow, share, guys. Share to groups. Share to people that you think they would love this podcast, the information that we shoot out, and things like that. So like, share, and all that good stuff. It helps. And come on and have a cup of coffee with us. Ed, take it away.
Y'all have a great day, and don't forget to join us tonight at 5 p.m. for the knitting, crocheting, jewelry making group again, and then we will see you again tomorrow morning, and we'll do it again with a whole new group of articles to run past you. So everybody have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.